Renee Bays, Rakim, John, 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 Renee Bays, Rakim, John.
Welcome to Podcast of Color, where four trash bags of color come together to make some sense of the world.
To get fucked up.
To
get some dick.
My name's Renee.
Hi, I'm John.
Oh, the phone sex voice.
Oh, wait, John.
Hi, y'all. I'm Baze.
Hello, everybody. I'm Rakim, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me today. I'm so excited to be a guest on the show. I'm a big fan. Thank you. So,
we should have we should have audience members on the show one day. But anyways, continue.
Oh, girl, you just opened up a can of worms.
Yeah.
Oh, did I do that?
Here goes the inbox.
Well, I mean, but
Everyone's
Baze has
gonna be
been
like, hey,
asking
big
people
head.
to get into our inbox.
What was that, John?
I said Baze has been asking people to get into our inbox. I mean, he's been begging.
So there we go. Slide into our DMs.
Get in there.
Oh, God. Anyway.
Is there a question of color this week?
Yes, there is a question of color this week. So, your POC friend is talking to this new guy, and he's saying, he's so cute, isn't he? And he sends you a photo of him, and it's a really basic, mediocre-looking white guy. Are you the friend that is like, oh my god, yes, amazing, so cute, 10 out of 10? Or are you the person that's like, what are you doing?
Baby, if I don't feel it, I ain't faking no more. No. Come on, rude boy. Okay. So I used to actually be that person that would fake it and just like, oh, they're so cute. But now I'm just like, look, if you don't want my honest opinion, don't ask me. Especially if it's a Caucasian.
Wow. And that's the juice on that.
I mean, I think it depends on the friend.
Yeah.
If it's the friend who,
If you could be honest with the friend, if you have that type of relationship, maybe.
Oh, yeah, that too.
No, I'm asking.
But also, no, I was thinking more of what if this friend doesn't have a lot of opportunities or hasn't been, you know what I mean? And if this is the shot they get, then I'm like, yeah,
let
cool.
them shoot their
Benedict
shot.
Cumberbatch, let's go.
Wait, are you saying that Benedict Cumberbatch is attractive or that he's not attractive?
No, that he's not attractive.
Because
that's the scenario, right? That if Benedict Cumberbatch or whatever, some basic ass white.
Well, I was about to be like, sweetie.
Girl, I saw Thor Ragnarok today, and he made a cameo appearance, and I was like, bitch, I did not pay for this. I did not go and see Doctor Strange on purpose.
Although he had Thor shook.
He really did, but I was just like, ugh, that face.
Go back to your own movie, sweaty.
Oh my god. Bitch, this is Marvel. There is no own movies.
What kind of friend are you, Rakim?
Well, I feel like, look, if that's who you like, then that's who you like. Just because I don't find them attractive don't mean they're not attractive to you. I'll just be like, look, girl, it's a white, so be careful.
But they're asking your opinion, though.
Yeah.
That is my opinion.
But what if they? But the question is what if they're like, Rakim, don't you think he's cute? What are you gonna say?
I misunderstood the question. Well, I'll tell them if I don't think that they're cute. I tell people all the time if I don't think someone's cute.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh yeah, I mean, if the question is, if they show me a basic white person that I feel like is not attractive and they think that they are, I'll be like, they're not cute to me, but girl, that's cute for you, and that's all that has to be.
I've literally been out with I won't say any names, but a member of this show and some of their friends in the West Hollywood area. And
I've seen not me because I don't go out.
I've seen some of the people they've pointed out, and I've said stuff to them right there in front of the person because I'm just like, no.
Renee's done this to me too. I've showed him someone and he's been like, sweetie, this is not.
Wait, but to do some light dragging, Rakim, weren't we that friend at one point?
That did what?
We had a similar white.
Oh, girl, who said that?
And we had asked our friends, and our friends told us the truth.
You know,
and I was
John,
like, you know what?
I'm not
You're
here to
right.
talk about the bankruptcy, okay? I'm not
I
here to
just
talk
pretend
about
I didn't
that.
get the text message.
No, stop.
Or
what if they were in person? In person, they show you like, hey, look at this.
It depends. Like, it depends on the person's feelings too. Like, if they can take like, no, but if they're like super sensitive and they're like happy about this person, I'm just like, oh my god, yeah.
But if you
He's
can't take it,
beautiful.
then don't
ask.
show people. Don't ask people's opinions about it.
That's what
Right.
I've learned. Listen, Renee drags every single person that I like, so I just
I
mean-
like at this point, I take
I
caution.
mean, I just think
Like, if I don't want somebody's honest opinion, I'm not going to go up to them and ask them.
here's the thing: we have the relationship where we can do that
No,
to the A and B. I just think y'all can do better.
I'm gonna need you to do better. Thank you, thank you, friend.
Y'all are like 10s and y'all are like dipping down and
Tens,
reaching for
tens,
like
tens,
1.5 negative.
Who is
15s.
y'all?
Stop.
I'm not
Who
gonna
is
say
y'all?
who. I'm not gonna say who, but
Everyone.
but some
But you
folks
said y'all, which
on
is a
this
blanket
podcast.
statement.
Although I've been better.
I would
lately.
like to be
I've
excluded
been
from
better
this
lately.
narrative.
Mm.
Because my man is fine.
no. I'm not talking about you, base. Obviously,
Okay.
you know
Thanks,
how
I'm
you know how I feel about
excluded
Mark.
from y'all.
How do you feel about Mark?
What wonderfully.
Elaborate, bitch.
Wonderfully.
Wait, Renee. Oh, wait, you didn't answer. Okay, so is that everyone?
Yeah, I think that
What?
is.
What were we
Wow,
gonna
that's
say?
the fastest we got
I
through
was
a
just
question.
thinking, it's Thanksgiving is coming up, and wouldn't it be funny if Mark does stuffing?
Stuffed
I'm
base?
sorry.
No, because I don't like stuffing, so that won't be
Black
happening.
people
like,
don't like stuffing.
it's a
Or, like,
play
they
on-
do, but it's wrong that they do.
It's up there. Mark does stuff.
Mark does stuff.
Get
oh,
Mark does.
We've already made the
stuffing.
joke about me being the stuffing
Oh, that's true.
and that, so
Wow. Oh,
I
wait,
got it, I
maybe
got
we
it.
should say that since it's Thanksgiving next week, we're actually going.
Oh, yeah.
things
Yeah.
taking.
So,
we
since-
got family and we need some downtime. So next week is gonna be our week off.
yeah. So, next we're going to take a break and then we'll come back. We're going to celebrate the holidays with our families
Mhm.
or found families. And
Mhm.
oh my God, I forgot, Baze. Last year we did Friendsgiving. That was so fucking fun.
Friendsgiving.
I know. I'm
Oh.
so sad because I can't do that with anyone here because all the people that I know have like real families. That's
Oh.
like that they.
I mean,
Not
I
like
left
us.
my family dinner early to go to Friendsgiving last year.
I know. I remember you guys we had a full on thing, but this year, yeah. So I'm just like, and it was too expensive to fly back to LA during these times. So.
Oh, that would have been cute. But that's okay. Oh, you know who's gonna be?
I mean, that's
Oh,
okay
I'll
for
tell
you because you can go up to the Bay Area and be with your found family, or you can hang out with the found family that you have in
wow.
LA. But I'm in New York,
Wow.
so
You can spend it with, the blizzard and the snow and cold weather.
well, none of that.
You're
is
gonna have a
happening.
white
It's
Christmas.
very cold.
Oh. Oh.
It can never be as white as your Christmas.
He's gonna point.
What is that?
So we're gonna move on to.
We're gonna move on.
Yes.
Yikes.
Let us move on, dears.
Trash, 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 trash.
Hello out there, everyone in TV land and Hollywood and well, maybe not Hollywood.
Excuse me, did you just
They're not
take
doing
my
too well these
intro
days.
segment?
First of all, bitch, I'm the one with the voices. Okay, you try to bite off of my plate. Okay, bitch.
Excuse
And it's
me?
not even Thanksgiving yet, ho. Back up.
Baze, you're such an
Make
old
your own
Hollywood
dish,
starlet.
No,
Huh?
Hello there,
Thanks.
Hollywood land.
Hollywood land. Well,
What
yeah,
you-
Hollywood. So, actually, fun fact, if you didn't know, but you probably did already, Hollywood used to be Hollywood land, and they took the land off of the sign. Like, the Hollywood sign used to say Hollywood land. Also, a lot of people killed themselves off of the H. Jumping off the
God.
H. So.
I'm out that H.
Well,
Town.
Also, a fun
Facts.
fact. Did
Coming
you guys
down.
know that you can just buy a Hollywood star?
Really? How much
Yeah,
are they?
That's what everybody does. Everyone just buys them. They're
How
not
much are they?
just gifted to you. They're
They're
like
like
thousands of dollars. And there's also a
$2,000.
committee, so you have to like play politics with them.
Yeah.
hmm
I feel like we
Yeah.
deserve.
We do
Maybe
do
if we
podcasts
could-
of colors.
Maybe
We
our
deserve.
Patreon will get us there.
So this week has been a mixed bag of nuts.
Okay.
We've got we did get a lot of good news because if y'all was not aware, there was an election in some parts of the country on Monday, and there was a lot of wins for the Democrats.
Yay.
I think it's something like 13 seats were returned from Republican to Democrat.
Returned.
Oh, work.
Yes.
Here, give me back.
We also we got Danica Roem, who was stated to be the first transgender state legislator in the U.S., but she's actually not. Not to take away her, she won against a major transphobe. I think he was very homophobic, very conservative dude in Virginia. But in fact, who was this woman name? Althea Garrison was elected to the Massachusetts House of Representatives as a Republican. Yikes! In 1992. But she did not openly identify herself as trans, and she was later outed by the Boston Herald, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
So she only served one term, but but she was a black trans woman, I believe. And so she was the first. But
a black trans woman Republican?
But Danica is the first openly transgender state
Don't
legislator.
choice shame her, John. I'm kidding.
I'm not.
I'm kidding. I'm totally
Why are
kidding.
you being bigoted against like diversity of opinion? Because that's
Oh
the
my
real
God.
diversity.
Like
I'm kidding.
just because you disagree, John? We're allowed to speak.
Oh, okay.
God,
Okay, stop being such a cuck, John. Okay.
Not a cock.
Snowflake.
Not a
Fuck
cock.
snowflake.
What is it?
Jesus.
What's a cuck?
Oh.
Wait, what's a
You don't know what a
cuck?
cuck is?
Wait, okay.
Give me that cuck. You
Oh
got it?
no!
Shablam.
Just continue. I'm gonna Google that.
Shablam. It's a cuckold. It's short for cuckold, and it's when
Wait,
a man.
If you're-
It's basically when a wife cheats on her husband with another man. But I don't know if he's supposed to know about it. I've seen cuck porn,
but it's also
Which gets-
racial though.
But the
Not
alt-right
necessarily.
uses it a lot.
but it does have racial connotations, which is that a black man is sleeping with your defiling your beautiful Caucasian wife.
It's also
my
like
God.
the category of porn where you see like one really small, like 5'5", really skinny white woman getting fucked by like 8 black guys. Like that is what that
And then-
kind of is.
and she's like, open my pussy up, and
And
her
she's
husband like is like some small little white man, and he's like holding her pussy open for the black man.
oh my god, I hate the noises that they make because it's always like, oh my god, and it's like, okay,
Well,
girl,
no.
damn.
There's like some dominatrix. I don't know how you pronounce that.
Dominatrix.
Like there's some of that in there
Dominatrix,
because
that's
she's
the-
like,
Yes,
she's like,
girl, yes, dominatrix sis. Go
Well,
on.
because there's like a point where like I've seen it. There's like the point where like maybe like the black guy comes on the girl and it gets very homoerotic. Where like she's like, lick the cum off my pussy, daddy,
Ew.
and it's just like really like there's just a lot of things going on there.
I
And
don't think I've
also-
ever spiraled down that porn rabbit hole.
I've seen everything.
Oh.
I've seen not absolutely everything because we're gonna exclude
Can you do
child
that in
porn
like an
from
old
that.
Hollywood?
But
voice
I've
that
seen
you've
most
everything?
things.
What to me that says I've seen hentai and I enjoy it.
I have seen hentai and I have enjoyed it. Do I watch it still today? That is not a fact. But I did used to enjoy it back in the good old days of high school. Anyway, moving on.
When you tell on yourself and realize what you just did.
No, listen. I am not into shaming people sexually for the things that they like to do.
I am.
As long as no one is being harmed. And I am not necessarily proud of having watched hentai, but I'm not ashamed of it either because that's just a part of my truth, and I'm just gonna live it.
Hentai is a part of my podcast.
Former
Again, episode
hentai
33. Hentai is my truth.
A recovered hentai viewer.
I've been clean from hentai for about a decade now, and it just feels really good. So another a black trans woman is now sitting on the Minneapolis City Council. Andrea
Yes.
Jenkins won her race for the seat. There was I think Seattle elected its first lesbian. Is it first female? Or maybe she's a woman and a lesbian. I can't keep up with all the stories, but
Maybe she's a woman and
Maybe she's born with it.
maybe she's a lesbian.
maybe it's lesbianism.
Yes.
She One in Seattle. The new attorney general in Virginia is like pro Black Lives Matter and is like very much into, or is it? There was like so many wins that like I could not actually keep up with.
Oh, this winning.
But there's a black woman that is in some important position now in Virginia. There is a black man who is Black Lives Matter, pro Black Lives Matter, and he won his position. The governor won against the Democratic favorite won against the Republican favorite, even though the Republican guy was like points ahead initially and was supposed to win. So yeah, I mean, politically,
didn't someone in Jersey is I think he's
maybe
Sikh,
it's Jersey.
he's Indian. The guy is Indian.
He's Sikh. Yeah,
he's Sikh.
mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's
So
like
cool.
there was a lot of wins and but the thing that I guess made me a little nervous is a lot of people are like, this is a message to Trump. And again, I have a problem with people making everything about Trump. Like, yes, get Trump out of there, but the issue is still going to be here. All these people are not Trump. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be a problem even when Trump isn't in office. And people would not, I don't think, be as vocally anti-Trump if he was calmer and sneakier about the shit that he was doing.
That's why Mike Pence is scary.
Yeah. I think that a lot of people would just be like silent and like be like fine with it if Mike Pence was there, because he wouldn't be out here tweeting and saying crazy shit. He would just do it.
I was gonna say like Nike, just do it, but then that's fucked up. So like, sorry, it's the wine.
I meant to drink some wine, but I like just woke up from a nap, so I'm tired high.
Tired high.
So I'm.
I made a promise that I'm gonna record every episode not sober for the rest of the year.
Oh, you know what? Look, I think that's admirable, and I just want to be like you when I grow up.
When I grow up.
Oh my God, they're coming back.
So what's the next topic?
Who's coming back?
That recoiling sound.
Who is this?
Pussycat Dolls.
Sweetie.
Oh, I listen. I've heard like
The Pussycat Dolls.
Bye,
the Pussycat Dolls. The Pussycat Dolls.
Pussycat Dolls, yes.
Josie and the Pussycat.
I just remember being like, I just remember they would wear like these micro mini skirts and like,
yes.
And I just remember there was this one particular white girl whose like skirt was so small, and I was just like, how is her ass not falling out? But she didn't have an ass, so it like made complete sense.
No.
It was one of the white girls. I don't know any of their names other than Nicole Scherzinger. It was a.
Did you hear
Scherzinger?
Okay.
Sir,
I was gonna say Schwarzenegger.
Scherzinger. That's what it is.
Did you guys hear in the midst of all these like assault cases coming up, one of the girls from the Pussycat Dolls came forward and was like, the Pussycat Dolls is basically like a prostitution ring, and like Robin Anton was in on it the whole time.
I did hear that.
Yeah, and like she's like, they forced us to do drugs and prostitution, and we were just like glorified prostitutes. And I was like, shit, that sucks. So like, as much as I like them and as much I used to like Robin Anton, I guess she's like kind of.
Who's Robin again? That sounds really familiar.
She's the one that put them together. She's like, she put Girlicious together. She put Pussycat Dolls together. Like all these.
Did she do the Tequila Girls?
I don't remember.
Oh no, not Tequila Girls. The Paradiso Girls. That's what it was.
She had that show on the CW where she's putting a band together too. I forgot which girl band.
Oh,
Jesus,
that was
sounds so familiar to me. Robin Anton.
That's where Scherzinger was found.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Before the Pussycat Dolls.
Yeah. Anyway, back to more horrible news. Wait. We were coming off of good news. Sorry, I'm so used to telling.
No, it was John with the Hello
stories.
Darkness.
I'm sorry, I had a horrible news.
We were going in that direction anyway. So Roy Moore is a Republican Senate candidate in Alabama. Today, I think a fifth woman has come forward to accuse him of assaulting her when she was 16. And every one of the women has said that they were like 14 to 17 when he like tried to get at them. some of them are saying like that it was like full on assault, and some are saying that like it just was like him just flirting with them and like dating them, I guess. And I guess it's like legal in Alabama because I think the age of consent is 16. So for some of them, like that's what people are using as like a justification. A lot of Republicans are. It's just been interesting because when it was like Hollywood, the liberal elites, you know, a lot of Republicans were very excited about these sexual assault allegations coming out. But now that it's turned on one of their own, there's a lot of, I don't believe these women, or justification for it. Oh, it's fine. Like it's just one 14-year-old girl. Someone said that Joseph married Mary when she was a teenager. And
What?
Jesus came out. And I'm just like, wow. First of all, I mean, if you really believe what you're talking about, first of all, Jesus was not the son of Joseph. He was the son of God. So,
ain't that it? Come on.
So, like, what you're saying still makes sense.
But wasn't she the Virgin Mary?
Exactly. That's, like, this is literally your belief system. This is what you use to justify, like, oppressing people. So, like, can you at least stick to it? And it's just, like, y'all really don't believe in none of the shit that you're talking about. You don't care about morals. You don't care about family values. You don't care about religion. You don't care about God, heaven, hell, or even this earth, really, because y'all still denying climate change.
Or think that it's flat.
Y'all just, like, I just don't, like, money. Like, it's literally just money. Like, that's all they see.
Well, our capitalism hunty is back. What do you have to say on that?
Oh,
the anti-capitalist hunty.
The exactly.
Yeah,
the anti-capitalist. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's all fucked. Like, I don't know if y'all saw the shit with Joe Biden. Did y'all see that video?
Where he's trying to whitewash his what he did during the Anita Hill case. Or
no,
is that what you're talking
but
about?
that one too.
Because he definitely just did that today. But sorry, go ahead.
No, so he's swearing in politicians, and they're bringing their families, and he's being really creepy with like young girls. Like he's kind of like caressing their shoulders, their hair, their faces, giving them kisses. At one point, like looks like it appears that he's like trying to rub on like this little girl's nipples. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, so this was Milo Yabadabadoo that shared this video.
Yabba-dabba-doo, I'm so sorry. Yogi Bear, sweetie. I'm so sorry.
That shared this video, so it was like really weird to be like watching it or whatever. But we really need to, you know, whoever it is, whatever side it is, like it's fucked up, and we just need to call it out.
Because Joe Biden's always been weird with that. Like he's he's known for like being really like I don't know, like kissing women and shit like that. But this is just like, that's some next level creepy shit. If you have the video, Renee, you can link it, and I would want to see it. That's pretty.
I will. It's gross, and that's the thing. Like, it's just like he's known for that, and people are like hee hee ha ha. Like even some of the parents of the kids were like giggling, like that's funny. It's old Joe just being silly, and it's just like, no, that's fucking creepy. Your daughter is very clearly uncomfortable and doesn't want to be touched that way, and like, but because it's Joe Biden and because he has that power and because he's this big liberal politician, it's just like
I just know that he's trying to today. I mean, I didn't see none of that, but today I saw that he was trying to he was discussing, obviously, like sexual assault is a big thing right now, is a big topic, and so he was asked about the Anita Hill case, and from my understanding, he, as well as other people that were, I don't know if you call it a board or, I don't know, the people that were like judging the situation, the committee, purposely did not call all the witnesses that they could have called and people that could have verified what Anita Hill was saying happened to her. And she's talked about that. And Joe Biden basically was like, yeah, like I believed her from the beginning. When they found like quotes from him from during the trial or whatever, and he's like saying, oh, I you know, you can ruin two people's lives, so you just got to be very careful about this. So you believed her the whole time, but you're sitting up here talking about ruining two different people's lives, and you're claiming that that the witnesses didn't want to testify, but there were people that wanted to testify. So he's just trying to whitewash his image right now, and I'm just like, It's just like, it just would be nice if people just be like, you know what, I was a piece of shit.
Right.
And, that's not who I'm trying to be anymore, so I'm going to try to be better going forward. But that was just shitty of me. Like, you can't just acknowledge that you did some fucked up shit.
Right.
Because you did.
Yeah.
I think okay, never mind. We'll talk about it later.
So, did we talk about this guy that killed his gay son last week? I don't remember if I mentioned it.
No,
Okay.
I think you did.
A 14-year-old in where is this? In Nevada, he was in the foster care system. He was killed by his father because his father did not want his son to be gay. Basically, his father's also pulled a gun on him in the past. When he walked in on him and his boyfriend, walked in on the son and his boyfriend. And so he killed him. So this is just what could happen when you not when you wish gay children on homophobic parents, but when you do wish a gay child on a homophobic parent, like, I want people to be more aware of the children, the potential children, the hypothetical children, and what they would potentially go through if they had to be born to a homophobic parent. Because, you would hope that someone would overcome their feelings for, out of love for their child, but that oftentimes doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So,
but that's also why I think it's really important when people talk about not everyone has the luxury of coming out because of stuff like this, because shit like that happen. That's why it's terrifying for a lot of people, because they can be kicked out or worse. And so when people are like, oh, well, you need, and it's funny because I think Renee mentioned this a really long time ago about, I think before the show even, about blank profile shaming or whatever, or people not having pictures on gay apps. And I remember at the time I was like, that's so fucking dumb. But then I actually remember when I first heard about this story, that was the first thing that came out in my head, because I was like, now I get why people, I understood why people were discreet and didn't have things, but this kind of really grounds it in reality for me. And I know that's a privilege, but that I'm allowed to be around people that, accept me for who I am.
Yeah.
But it really does kind of put things into perspective. Some people can't do that or, be really who they are because their lives are literally at stake. And it's and then it makes me think, gay people have the option of some of us have the option of being in the closet or that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then my mind goes to trans people don't. And then it's they're just walking down the street and this shit happens to them. So it's just really fun.
Exactly. Yeah.
There was also, if I can add just something really quick, I don't know if y'all heard about, his name was Gabriel Fernandez, another kid that was killed by his stepfather and his mother because they suspected that he was gay. They did some really sadistic shit. I don't want to say it on the show because it was really fucked up, but, yeah, and it's just you're a fucking kid. You're a fucking kid. And they were saying that they knew something was up because every time they would he'd get picked up for school, he would start crying, and he said he wouldn't want to go home. So, but yeah, it's just some people are raised in these environments where they feel it's obviously not safe. To be themselves.
And if I could just add on to that too, since I think when people say, or there's some people out there who feel this is kind of maybe off topic, but some people think that pride is unnecessary, or sometimes people feel oh, is coming out still a thing, or why is pride even a thing? It's I feel everyone who's made those questions or has made those statements are sort of coming from a place of privilege, because this is why coming out and this is why pride is a thing, because some people don't have that privilege, and this is why we show up. It's because kids wish they could. But they can't because of the situation. You know what I mean? So I feel when people ask me why I go, it's because I'm showing up for kids who can't.
Yeah.
Right.
So I want to move on to one thing, which is a good thing, but I just want to give y'all some more grief before we get to that good thing. Really quick. I know we talked about before Jamel Moore, who was found in the bathroom of a West Hollywood apartment that belongs to someone named Ed Buck. He from what we understand, Jamel Moore was a sex worker. And I'm just reading that a lot of young black men have come forward to say that basically this dude has like a fetish for young black men, and has been hiring a lot of black male sex workers, but a part of hiring them for him has been injecting them with drugs,
with meth,
before he will sleep with them. The cops are still like not really trying to find out what happened, or even really investigating, or doing anything really, which is unsurprising. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that really quick, just so just make sure we still paying attention to that situation and keeping our eyes on that.
Yeah, especially with all the sexual assault cases in like the media, it's really fucking weird that this isn't really being picked up or shown as widely as these other stories.
So shout out to the good sis. That's SIS, not CIS.
I don't think anyone has ever said the good CIS. The limit
I've seen that. Actually, I've seen that.
Oh.
Travis Alabanza, who is a friend of the show.
Travis Eleganza.
Eleganza. They've actually mentioned. I think we talked about it. They've mentioned doing a British version of PLC. So
sorry
they were
for
at
shading you.
they were at Topshop, and they found a dress in Topshop. You guys know how like there's usually at Topshop there's a top man upstairs, or downstairs depending on the location. They were at Topshop. They were going to the dressing rooms to try on the dress, and the woman there wouldn't let them enter the fitting rooms. Told them to go up to top man. Apparently, this is already not a thing. Like you are supposed to be allowed to go in either one. They're supposed to be gender neutral according to Topshop. But apparently they haven't been telling their employees this, because this lady would refuse to let Travis into the spot. And then Travis basically talked about what this does to someone who is trans, whether they be non-binary, whether they be trans femme. For Travis to have to go upstairs or downstairs or whatever to top man and then try on this dress in the fitting rooms there could cause a lot of grief, could cause harassment. You know what I mean? It just is a situation where they can end up being unsafe. And when trans femme people are using female bathrooms or fitting rooms, it's out of safety, because they can't go and just use whichever, because they frequently are targeted and attacked, if not having comments made to them, which can be very, can be equally jarring and emotionally devastating. You don't want to go out and have somebody abusing you verbally. So it just was really good to see, because Topshop responded and said that this is not part of their the rules are that the fittings are gender neutral, and at the end of the day, like, it really shouldn't even matter anyway, because they're like cubes, like they're individual anyway. You go in and you close the door behind you. So it's just annoying that this really even had to be a thing, that there had to even be a thing made out of this.
I mean, someone's getting fired. It should be her.
Yes,
somebody getting fired. Hey,
well, it's not only that. It's not about just that one person. I don't think too. I think a lot of retail places, or a lot of companies in general, need to do better as far as training their employees on how to treat people of every background, of every whatever. Because I don't think it's really as widespread. Like, these ideas aren't as widespread as we sometimes think they are. So yeah, I think these companies just really, really need to be like, hey, we're open to the public. All types of customers are going to come in. We're going to treat them all the way they need to be treated.
Yeah, and just shout out to Travis Eleganza. You did that. Like, everybody is like in the news. You've gotten this topic and made it I don't know what word I'm looking for, but you made it a thing.
International. I mean, because we're hearing about it.
Yes,
Yeah.
international. Yes,
You are an
yes,
honorary
Giselle
trash
Danza.
bag.
Yes, Travis.
You're a golden
yes.
trash bag, Travis.
a gold. Oh, I was gonna say gold star. That's
golden
not
tra-
not where I was.
That's
should have gone.
different.
Anyway, hi Travis. Yes. So I went and saw Thor today. Thor Ragnarok. Let me just say that, like, honestly, I think it really did take until today. Like, I was starting to sort of get it before, but it took me until today to really, like, find Chris Hemsworth attractive. And now I, like...
With that
I'm
short
like,
hair,
okay.
sis.
Oh, yeah.
Listen.
Oh, you guys like short hair Thor?
Yeah, girl,
Yeah, I prefer
listen.
it.
He can do
Isn't
some
it-
things to me.
Yes.
I like long hair Thor.
Girl. I was just like, when he took his shirt off and he had those ass arches, I was like, bitch.
Ass arches. Shut the
That's
fuck
what I call them. I don't know what the not medical, but like the anatomical term for them is. But yes, come through ass arches.
Listen, him and Jake Gyllenhaal. Listen, like I know I've said this to people before. Jake Gyllenhaal was so fine. I know how to spell his last name. It's Gylllenhaal. Like he is just like.
I was like into Jake Gyllenhaal and Jarhead. Is that what that movie was called? Is it Jarhead?
Mhm.
Which one?
He was in the
know.
military.
Yeah, that was. Oh, I was so
Okay,
I
sorry.
knocked a
Let's
few
not
out to
stand.
that- to that-
Yeah,
to
this
that-
is
to that naked
POC.
scene, but anyway.
Sorry.
Anyway,
My bad. Sorry.
So
Yeah,
honestly,
there's no
I
like in the
thought Tessa was amazing. Tessa, of course, like it was just really good to see a black woman, albeit a light skin, super light black
Wow,
woman,
you can't
but a
even let her
black
have
woman.
it?
Huh?
So you can't even let her have it?
I mean, I'm gonna talk about black issues. Are you talking about black issues?
Oh,
I mean,
John, I
taking it
support
away
you.
from it.
She can have it. I'm complimenting her. I'm saying that, again, it's a light-skinned person because this is an issue and there are only light-skinned women that are given opportunities in Hollywood.
Yeah, I can't.
Does anybody
Today I was
disagree?
trying to think of like dark skinned celebrities or like singers that like have had the platforms that like lighter skinned singers have had, and I really couldn't think of like anybody.
I'd be trying to like fan cast things like all the time. Like I've been thinking about like things that I want to see actresses in, and I was even like with Storm. I was like, God, who can I think of? And I couldn't even think of that many people to play Storm because there just aren't that many black women that are getting opportunities like that in Hollywood.
Like
that are darker skinned.
everything that we think of, the only person I can really think of is like Lupita.
Exactly, and that's the go-to for everything. Anytime somebody wants somebody for a dark skin, they're like, "Oh my God, Lupita." And I found myself doing that too because I was like, there's just not that many dark skinned women.
Yeah.
So yes, when we talk about the successes of black women, we are going to talk about colorism because it is at play and it affects it. But anyway, yes, Tessa was amazing. I really felt like this was really Cate Blanchett's film.
Oh,
She
yeah.
did that,
She ate that scenery up.
bitch. When
Like
she
the struts.
when she first like pulled, they did this for the gays because when she would put her
Yeah,
hands
they did,
back
they
and
really
her
did.
wig would become the bitch.
Mhm,
When I tell you my wig was pulled back,
That was a reference to The Craft.
Oh, I don't know, girl.
Because in The Craft, when one of the witches, she learned just how to change her
Oh,
hair
that's
color.
right.
And she just puts her hands over her hair
Oh,
and she goes
that's
from
right.
like brunette to blonde. That's exactly what Kate
Come
Blanchett
on,
did.
gay cult icon.
Is that what I don't know, bitch. All I know is my wig was crafted right the fuck off.
Bitch.
Like-
Her strut when she strutted into the city. I was just like that walk. I was
Yes,
like,
that walk
what?
is everything.
Olivia Pope was shook. She did that.
Olivia, she was.
Like I
We
actually
gonna get to
saw
Olivia Pope and her stiff ass wig later, but anyway.
when I saw that, my gay ass was in the, I had to shut up because when I first saw the strut bass, I said, yes!
I wanted to so bad. Because I was already hyped off of the Black Panther trailer that had just come on right
right.
before then. And then the Star Wars. I know that's sacrilege to the nerds out there. But the Star Wars trailer had just come on too. And Finn was out here with his lightsaber. There we go. So like I was hyped. And then when she showed up in that field and fucked them niggas up, I was just like, look, this is her movie now. And honestly, if she killed Thor and what's the other nigga's name? Loki. If she killed them right now and just took over, I would be fine with that.
Like,
you know somebody's a good villain when you rooting for the villain. I was rooting for her.
I actually was rooting for her too. I was like, how are they going to get rid of her? They can't get rid of her. And I'm just like, whatever.
when they
She
said,
killed
and then
everybody.
like I just love at the part where she was like, they go, well, whoever you are, like, we're gonna defeat you. And she's like, were you not just listening to a word that I just said? And I was like, as a woman in the villain field, sis, I'm sure you get that all the time, girl. Go off.
Yeah.
Kill.
I think that there was some I have to sit with it a little bit more and think about it a little bit more deeply. But I feel like there was some messages in that movie about misogyny and
You were gonna say misogynoir?
no, not misogynoir.
Oh.
I mean, her hair was black.
Even though she was the firstborn, she was a woman.
Yeah.
So her father treated her like shit.
Yeah, and the fact that he made her who she was and then locked her away when she became good at it.
Yeah.
No, she was not good at it. She was that bitch. Like, they couldn't beat her. Like, it's okay. Let's
Like,
I would have liked to have seen more.
They were all scared of what she could become, which is basically better than all of them, and they couldn't.
I would have liked to have seen more of the Valkyries, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But hopefully that is going to happen
spoiler
in the
alert,
next.
they're dead. So
Oh my god, Rakeem!
I mean, they say
Okay, but look, they do all kinds of shit with the Marvel Universe, bitch. So
true.
it's
But
possible.
Tessa did that. Listen, the most relatable moment in that movie to me, I have two actually, was when she was like, you have until I finish this bottle to talk to me. And she drank that shit in 2 seconds. I said, yes. I said, that was put in there just for me. And then low-key, I was thirsting after the Hulk because they showed his ass. And I said, oh, daddy? Like,
You know, I can see it. Actually, there was a moment where I was just like, okay, wait, the Hulk? Okay.
I was like, Hulk?
See,
I was like, Hulk smash Meek? Like,
The Hulk is not a gentle top, though, so, girl.
yeah.
honestly,
Get ready.
Get those trainers,
Get
girl.
those trainers out.
And don't fuck it up. So when you were saying how you thought like they never really let a serious moment pass, I completely forgot about you saying that until after I watched the movie, and I was like, oh shit, they really could not let a single like serious moment pass without there being a joke.
Yeah.
Now, granted, this was one of the funniest Marvel films that I've
it was
seen.
funny as fuck.
It was hilarious. Like, I was in the theater by myself, which I don't do, cracking up.
You have to put that disclaimer in. I don't do that because I have a man.
Do that. I usually don't. I don't usually go to the movies by myself. But today was my first time, and I enjoyed myself a lot. And I just was cracking up the entire time. But I will say that I would give this, like, if Spider-Man's a 10, and it is, I would give this an 8 because I didn't really feel like I could connect with the characters as much as I was able to in Spider-Man. Because I felt like the jokes kind of kept them like at a distance from actually ever getting like too real. So
Like,
that was just my one thing.
Like,
about
the
it.
comedy made the stakes not seem as like high, I guess, but I don't know. But it's also, I have to realize that like they're based off of comic books, so it's like when I think about it like that, it doesn't really like get to me that much. But yeah, anyway.
I didn't hate it. I just meant like with Spider-Man, I was able to like really connect, and I loved Spider-Man so much. It was so good.
Yeah.
But with this, I was just like, oh, this is really good, but also it's like not Spider-Man.
Right. You're just like, so where's Peter Parker? Like,
you know? I was just like, where's Peter Parker? Where's Zendaya with her little quips? You know?
Right.
I'm really looking forward to seeing more of Tessa Thompson in the later films, and I'm just so excited for Black Panther.
Oh, that trailer.
What is the song in that trailer? Because
I need to find it.
It's
Also,
called what?
Michael B. Jordan, girl. I like forget he's attractive, and then I watch that trailer, and I just want to like.
How you forget?
Because I don't really be
Renee,
paying attention
sorry.
to him like that. I
Renee
was
came
never
in like
really
a wrecking
into
ball
Michael
with
B.
that.
Jordan. But he came through with the keloids and the dreads, and I'm just like, ugh, a man.
Do you think he's going to be a bad guy though? Because that trailer is
He
really
is.
misleading.
Yeah,
He's a villain. But don't you like the
But
Bad Boys?
isn't I heard? Okay, you can like yell at me if this is incorrect, nerd like facts. But isn't he kind of like the Magneto to Black Panther's Xavier?
Oh, that would be cool.
Oh,
I don't know, but I
actually.
would love that. And then they fuck.
Wait.
It is.
That's what I want to see.
That's what's up.
You know what? But no, I don't want to see that because then well, maybe if he's like bisexual canonically, and then he like takes a break from Lupita, and then like gets with Michael B. Jordan, and then he's like, then they decide to just be in a polyamorous relationship because they just decide that they all want to be with each other.
I mean, aren't the kings of most of these hierarchies always fucking around the little boys anyway?
Sweetie,
I mean, not boys.
we were here to have a good time, and
We came to have a really good time.
Wow,
I'm
wait,
just
what
out
did
here
what
with
did
my
John say earlier? You
homegirl,
just can't
and
let
it's
us
just
have
like,
it.
if you can't talk about the Marvel universe, what the hell can you talk about?
Baze, what did John say earlier?
There are a lot of, I believe, like queer characters in Black Panther, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's at least one lesbian relationship amongst.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Black
okay. Look at
lesbians
Renee
come
being
through.
like a low key nerd.
We're gonna have to take a dark again. I know y'all was enjoying that,
Dark.
It wouldn't be podcast of color if we didn't take it dark. George Takei was accused of sexually assaulting someone back in 1981.
We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
Yeah, he apparently, like, allegedly. I'm just saying that because, girl, I don't want to get sued.
Right.
He was smart, bitch.
He drugged some guy allegedly, and then like when the guy woke up, he was like trying to take his underwear off and was filling him up. Now, George Takei, the more he not opens his mouth because he hasn't like said anything on TV, but the more he gets on Twitter and says things on Twitter, the more I'm just like, girl, you did it. You're just so guilty. Because he instead of just being like, you know what, that didn't happen. I mean, if you're going to just deny it, like, just be like, that never happened. But instead of doing that, he did this whole, like, dissertation on Twitter, this whole Twitter thread. And it's just like, girl, we got 280 characters now. Like, you didn't need to make this many tweets to say that you were not guilty. But he did. He was like, my husband, who I've been married to for 30 years, is standing by my side. And it's just like, okay, but Camille Cosby is standing by her husband's side too. Like, that don't mean anything.
Oh, yikes.
And it just was just really weird to me that he didn't just say, like, look, I just didn't do this. And that's just what it is.
Well, he's saying he didn't do it, and he doesn't even remember who he is, right?
Yeah, and that's another thing to me, too, is, like, you know if you sexually assaulted someone.
Which means
if you don't remember that...
That means you do it all the time.
Exactly. So I know that I've never sexually assaulted anybody. Or, well, I guess you don't never know. No, you know.
You know.
You know.
I've never put my hands on anybody without their permission. So...
You know what's a great way to not get accused of sexual assault? Don't commit sexual assault.
True.
Oh.
So that's the thing is, like, to me, it's just like, you know, like, if I like look at my history, right? If I look at myself and what I've done in my life, I can remember everyone that I've been intimate with, which everyone can.
Oh.
So I'm not gonna judge. I'm not gonna judge that.
I was gonna say, wait.
I was like, don't know that life, but okay.
Oh, you don't remember everyone you slept with?
So finish your point.
Okay.
Back to George.
I can remember everyone that I have been intimate with, but also, like, I remember how I interact with people, and I'm aware of how I interact with people. I'm not a touchy person anyway, so I don't really touch people unless they're touching me. But you know what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
And it later came out that he was on Howard Stern, and I guess and this was recent, I guess this was like last month, he said that they asked him if he'd ever touched anybody inappropriately, and he was silent. And he didn't have any response. And then he did respond, but it was really weird and, like, cagey. Like, he did do something. Like, he basically admitted that, like, he's groped men and grabbed them by their genitals without their permission. So, I mean, what you're saying out of your mouth is consistent with what this guy's story is. And also, you know, then he said that the Russian bots were promoting the story, which maybe they are, but, like, girl, like, that's not what you should be focusing on right now. It's not that Russia is trying to take you down because you're some liberal elite. Who the hell is going to make some money off of George Takei assaulting them? Like, who's actually making money, period, off of people being assaulted? Name me one person who got good fame out of being sexually assaulted and coming forward about it.
Yeah.
And also, like, I think that because a lot of people are questioning this because a lot of people like George Takei because he has been a voice of reason for many years. But it's like, instead of questioning the validity of their statement, question what they would have to gain. Ask that question.
Yeah.
What would this person have to gain by making these accusations? What would this man, who he was 23 in 1981, so that was over 30, that was 36 years ago, and I know that because off the top of my head because Beyonce was born in 1981. And so this man is like 59 right now, like
George Takei?
no, the other guy,
Oh,
the guy who accused him. You know, so it's just like he's 59 and he's accusing you, George Takei. Like, what would he have to gain? Like, what is he gonna get out of this?
Right.
Mm.
And I don't really see you being that big of a star that people just gonna be coming for you like that. So I just don't. I don't want to say like, oh, he's guilty, burn him at the stake, but I believe the accuser.
I do too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it all sounds. Sorry.
What a mess.
Um,
What a mess.
Yeah.
So-
Also, I just want to, because I let this slide a little bit, but this guy Justin Smith on Twitter made a Twitter story about like a Twitter thread about Bryan Singer assaulting him back in 2000 and offering him a role in X-Men 2 as like a way to get at him, and like just that whole scene.
Yeah.
He said that he got threatening DMs, and so he completely like wiped his social media from the
Holy
internet.
shit.
So
Damn.
these tweets all like disappeared, and so like I just want to say like I just want to mention that because I don't want Bryan Singer to win. The
Right.
only reason I feel
Well, he's
that
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
that people are not saying like are not naming him is because this man has a really good lawyer. He's insulated himself. Allegedly, he is a part of a ring filled with powerful men.
Right.
So I just think it's really important. And even Jessica Chastain, which like shout out to her, is like come out and has spoken out against him. And she's working on a movie that he's producing.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Go,
so like for
Jessica.
her to come out and say something about it, like
Yeah.
That's why she's
That's
my
just-
favorite white woman with Amy Adams.
yeah. That's why she was my favorite in that horrible nigger movie. What was it called? What was it called?
John Renee
The
are like, what
Wait,
nigger
are you
movie,
talking about-
Renee?
What was
you
it?
was kind, you was important.
The Help?
Help?
There we
The
go.
Help, there you go.
Yes. That she was the only white person I liked in that whole movie. Anyway, continue. Renee, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say that I loved her in The Fountain. No, not
Never
The
seen
Fountain.
that.
Tree of Life.
Never seen that either.
But
Also, before we move on, I have really... Oh, sorry, were you going to say something?
I was just gonna say really quickly. I think with Bryan Singer, it's like pretty cemented, as far as public opinion, and like because I don't think he was incredibly discreet about what he was doing, allegedly, right?
Yeah, girl.
Um,
yes, because he's litigious.
Right,
He-
right.
he's
So
on that Taylor
allegedly,
Swift level.
there's even like a whole documentary out where like he's kind of like a big part of this ring. So
Yeah.
it's just like these things are like out there. So it's
Yeah.
I don't think he's hopefully. Well, we'll see. He's a white man, but hopefully he does
Yeah.
not win and get away with this.
Really quickly,
Okay,
before
right.
we move on, I
Oh.
just want to say two things. One, fuck you to the people who made Pikachu speak English in the new
Oh,
Pikachu
girl.
I Choose You movie. You're trash, and I don't
How
need to make
dare
decisions
you.
ever again. Two, stop posting pictures of Beyonce's kids on the internet. Three, don't ever talk to me about the Beyonce M&M song. I don't know her. I don't know what
Oh
that
shit,
is.
I forgot about that.
Great. So, with that,
That I just want to say that I hate you, Eminem, for making me hate a song that Beyonce is a part of.
Oh,
That
man.
song is horrible, and the fact that Jay-Z was supposedly the one to convince her, girl, get out of that marriage, divorce him now. Like that, he's betrayed you not once but twice.
No, here's the tea. I really feel like Blue Ivy did it. Like, I really feel like Beyonce had that shit on a laptop and said no, and then like she told Blue that she couldn't have another cookie, and Blue went into the laptop and was like send and sent the approval to
Wow.
Eminem and was like you can post it. And Beyonce woke up that morning like what the fuck, and Blue was like I told your ass not to fuck with me. That's what I feel like really happened, and that's the true tea.
Also, let's end this on a good note. Did y'all see the Pirelli
Yes.
all black Alice in Wonderland calendar?
Yes.
Yeah, oh
Miss
my god.
Naomi. You know,
I mean, I'm a
I'm
huge
just
fan
like-
of Ducky Thought, and so when I saw that, I was like, yes.
Can
Ducky
we just
Thought is just that girl. Like she really is that girl right
Yeah.
now.
Can I just
love it.
say, Tim Walker is my favorite photographer of all time. Like, of all time. He, like, his work is just, I mean, I actually sent his camp an email in college saying that I wanted to be his assistant, and they didn't email me back. But but if you hear
But
this,
he's still
Tim,
your favorite.
No, he's amazing. Like, he's literally everything I think an artist should be. And you never hear about him doing anything. You just hear about him making really fucking amazing work and then just dipping. And I love it.
Yeah.
So we stand legends here. He's a white
Yeah.
legend.
I mean, so who is
I
it?
mean, look, there's a few of them out there.
So Naomi Campbell's in it.
Yeah.
P. Diddy's in it.
RuPaul.
I guys don't like RuPaul, but I love that she's the queen.
No, I'm not a fan, but yes, I was standing her photo.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. I want to see the. I want to see the rest of it.
Oh, it's on the
Yeah,
internet.
I thought I saw the whole thing. I think I've seen the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah. So like, look at all this black beauty.
Excellent.
Look, I told y'all we in the midst of the nigga songs,
Yes.
the nigga songs,
Negociants.
and y'all gonna deal because it's here.
I mean,
It's
that'd be
happening.
cool if it was an actual movie, right? Like an all-black Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Damn.
Also, did you guys hear about Crazy Rich Asians?
Yes! Oh my god!
I'm looking forward to that coming out too. I'm looking for that.
I'm here for
forward to
Constance
that,
Wu.
so. Yes, Constance Wu. She always be talking her shit on Twitter, and I'm just like,
She's
yeah,
that
I'd be living
bitch.
for it.
She was at the
She really
Black
just
Lives
talks
Matter,
her shit.
March that we were at, Rakeem.
Wait, what? What, March?
The Black Lives Matter.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
she was there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
she
did
was
you see
there.
her when you got lost and separated from me?
Solidarity, girl.
When I marched, yeah.
Yeah.
Solidarity.
Well, we're going to end this segment by saying
Yes.
this. My name is Rakeem of the House Nigga, the first of his name.
Wow.
You know what? Never mind. You know what? Fine.
Do
Bum.
it. Do
Come on,
it.
keep going.
No, it's fine. We're going to move on. Bum, bum, bum.
Boom, boom,
Bum.
bam.
Hello.
Oh, wow. Do you see how that bitch tried to steal my shine? Do you
Tried.
see
It
it?
succeeded.
Do you see it? Anyway, how y'all out there?
Can't steal
How
what
do?
wasn't
How
yours.
do? It's just little old me, just little old beige, just sitting here with my friends at Podcast of Color, just talking about little old things. And so we're going through our discourse right now. And what is our
Speaking
discourse
of
about?
friends,
Speaking of friends, what about your
You a
friends?
smart bitch. That was a good segue.
Yeah,
A long time ago,
we're gonna talk
we
about.
used to be friends.
I
So-
love that song. A long time ago, we used to be friends.
Who is
I don't remember the rest of the words, but anyway. So we're talking about outgrowing friendships. So have you guys ever outgrown, or just relationships, I guess in general? But have you guys ever outgrown a relationship with someone? And how did you deal with that? Are you still dealing with it? How did
wow. Our resident anti-capitalist did the biggest anti-capitalist sigh.
Wait.
You know what? I'm just
Size and
cracking-
anti-capitalism.
John, when you did that, wow, I just think of that Tanisha gif where she like that single tear.
When she's like
goes
shedding a
down her
tear.
face. Yes.
I love that joke.
Wait, Renee, what does an anti-capitalist side sound like? Can you let the audience know?
I just did it.
He did do it again.
Fuck capital.
That's your fuck out.
Fuck capitalism.
I'm sorry for that sound. That's my sink talking back to me.
Oh.
She just got a lot to say today, and I don't know why, but you know.
She heard the anti-capitalist side and she was like, me too, girl.
Okay.
Who wants
So
to go
yeah,
first?
go for it, y'all.
I think our anti-capitalist hunty should.
Yeah.
Wow.
Go for it, anti-capitalist hunties.
I mean,
All right, well,
we have a lot to say.
So the question, I mean, yeah, but okay. So this first question is broad. So yeah, I
You have?
So you have outgrown some
yeah,
friendships.
and I think a couple of them, and I think I don't know. It's weird because there's different levels of outgrowing. There's outgrowing and just like, oh, like we like intersected at one point politically or via our values, and we've grown to to value different things, and so now we don't hang out as much. And there's also like we like really, really value different things, and we don't talk at all anymore. So there's like, there's like different levels of outgrowing. I feel like there's been an outgrowing for me, but like I still love these people and I still care about them, and I like call them on their birthdays or during the holidays, whatever. And then there's the outgrowing of just like shit. Like we probably shouldn't be talking at all anymore. And again, this maybe is somewhat connected to the toxic relationship episodes, because it's also like it's not always like you're a bad person, so let me not talk to you. Sometimes it's that.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just like we obviously don't work well together, and we're probably not good for each other. So like it's time for us to like kind of, and well, I feel like a lot of times, well, maybe not all the time, but like a lot of times, me and the other person like recognize that and like maybe don't say it, but we start like contacting each other less and less, and like it becomes apparent like we're just not there anymore.
Yeah.
So.
A long time ago.
Yeah. Just like Veronica Mars and
the black guy.
Logan Eccles. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, she stayed friends with the black guy.
You stand Veronica Mars.
I really do.
She is that. Look, she's that girl. Okay. Who else is out here solving crimes and doing homework in a week's time?
And yeah, exactly.
The
and
cast
like,
of How to Get Away with Murder.
Very white savior, but also helping like the POC in the school.
Yeah, but How to Get Away with Murder is different.
I guess that's more like doing homework and committing the murder. So you're right.
Wait, okay, so and then to get back on topic, so like
drag.
Sometimes, well, I'm thinking of like why Veronica and like her friends were no longer friends anymore. But sometimes it's just like I think. I don't know. I'm a little bit. I feel like I'm a little older, and I feel like I'm at the age where like I can tell already like if something is worth fighting for or not. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
what do we want?
I can tell
a
if I have
friend
to
we're
repeat
fighting for. Sorry.
Oh my god, I was thinking about that too.
Yes, I thought that immediately. Sorry.
I feel like if you have to repeatedly ask for something, or like if something's repeatedly hurting you and you have to like again and again like tell this person like I don't like when you do this, like, and it's like a constant thing, then it's just like, oh shit, like maybe that's just who that person is, and like it's not gonna go anywhere. And like before, I think I had a lot of instances where I'm just like, okay, like I'm forgiving them, or I'll look past this and like we can make it work, and that's fine. But I have found, like, when I think about, like, a lot of relationships that have dissolved, romantic and otherwise, it's usually because I usually can tell, like, pretty early on, like, there's an issue, and it's continuing to happen. But I used to hold on to those people because I love those people. And maybe, like, a little too long and a little too... letting go a little too late when it's, like, the toxicity has already kind of sunk in. But yeah, I just feel like I'm at the stage now where I'm just like, okay, if I constantly have to bring this up and this is a constant issue, and I feel like this, then it's just like, it's at this point I'm just like, okay, I know where this is going, so yeah.
Are you done, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking, so mine was more of like we were just in different places in our lives. Not so much that we were bad, I guess, for each other, or there was any sort of toxicity or anything of that nature. It was just this was a friend that I'd had since middle school, since like 6th grade. And we told them everything. They used to like protect me from like bullies in middle school and early high school, and so we were just tight. And when they were like going through a lot of the things that they were going through, I was like there, for them. And so I think after I graduated high school, I became very like reclusive, and I did not like going outside. and I got super depressed, and I've talked about this before, and like super suicidal and everything, and they were like, they would like tell me about their life, and that was how I lived. I would like just stay in the house all the time, and then I would just hear about what they were doing, and it like helped me get through some hard years, because I was like, oh, like, you know, like it wasn't like I was like, oh, these are my friends too. Like I wasn't like delusional, but I mean like in the sense that it just gave me something to think about. It was like a TV show, like, you know what I mean, only real life. And so like I really valued them, but I think there was a point where they were they started dating this white guy that we went to school with, who was a cop, who became a cop and was like racist as fuck. They were black too, and would let him get away with like saying anti-black things and talking like, cause he was like complaining because he was a cop in PV, Palos Verdes. And if you know, like, anybody who's listening knows, PV is very white and is very, like, upper class.
Yeah.
And he was, like, complaining, like, oh, I want to be where the action's at. And that, like, scared the shit out. When I heard that, that scared the shit out of me. Because I was just like, you really don't need to be where you think the action is at. But he was, like, saying, like, he would want to, like, be, like, in Compton and, like, in Inglewood and all this other shit. And I was just like, ooh, no. Like, girl, leave his ass in PV. And it just was like, there was like this person, they would tell me things about this guy, and it would just be very concerning to me. And I remember one time I saw them in the mall, and I just like completely like avoided. I was like, I don't want to interact with you at all. So like I avoided him actively, and like it was just super awkward, and he would like force interactions with me. And I like later found out that he was like calling me a faggot and all these other like slurs, and I was just like, and you're still talking to him? And my friend was like, yeah, you expect me to stop talking to him because he like uses gay slurs? And I was like, oh yeah, like imagine that's so crazy. And he would just do these things, and I think I got to a point, and then also this friend was like doing other things that were like self-sabotaging themselves, and it was like every time, like if they really wanted to, they could like do so well in life, but they just refused to stay on track. They would do things that would like get them in trouble legally and otherwise, or you know. And so I just was like, I think it just got to a point where I was just like, I saw who they were, and I saw who they were trying to be, and I didn't feel like they were really trying to grow as a person. I didn't really feel like they had any. I feel like they had goals, but they were not actively working towards them. Yeah. And it's very easy for me to fall into that. It's very easy, you know, for me, like, especially with the way that my depression works, it's hard for me to actively work towards the things that I want to accomplish. So I was like, I really need to be around people that are trying to accomplish something. And I need to be around people that are making good choices for themselves. And I need to be around people that respect me, because I don't think that you can call yourself my friend and then like have a person calling me slurs that you're dating, and I've been your friend for over a decade. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. And so I think, and then also it was just like, and then you know, he's saying these things about black people, and you're black, so it was just like, I felt like, you know, not only do I feel like you don't respect me, I don't even feel like you really have respect for yourself. Right. And so I was just like, this is not where I'm trying to go. I'm trying to go in a different direction. And so I had to be like, you know, I didn't say I'm not talking to you anymore, but I kind of just was like, and then also I was the one who was like, and I never do this because again, I'm very petty. I don't double text people. Like, if I can help it, it doesn't happen. You know, I don't pursue people if I don't feel like it's like I have to do this. I'm not gonna like pursue a friendship with anybody who's not gonna try back with me. And it's actually one of my pet peeves when I feel like I'm the one that's always trying to make things happen and the other person is not trying at all. So I just was like, I felt that way about this friend, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And I didn't say anything to them. I was just like, you know, I'm just gonna fade out, and I did, and I haven't seen them in I don't know how long, but it just was like one of those things where I guess it was sort of toxic, but it wasn't. That wasn't the main thing. The main thing for me was just that, like, it just felt like they weren't really going in the direction that I was trying to go in. And I
Right.
felt like I needed to have people around. Like I said, I needed to have people around me that were trying to go somewhere and that were trying to actively like accomplish things. And I want, because that's who I want to be. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard for me to get up and write. You know what I mean? But like, I do it, but I don't want to do it. Like, it's very difficult for me to concentrate. It's very difficult for me to, you know, even doing topics for this. Like, I do it every week, but like. It's hard sometimes because just that the way my brain works. And so I just need people around me that are going to like push me. Not necessarily like physically push me or like they're like actually coming out and telling me to do things. But like when I see them accomplishing things, I'm like, okay, I need to get my shit in order. Or you know what I mean? Or I be around people that inspire me to be a better person. And so I just couldn't be in that friendship anymore because I didn't feel like that was what was happening. I felt like I just didn't feel like it was a mutually beneficial relationship anymore. So,
Baze, did this person that you sort of distance yourself from, did they recognize that you were sort of not around, and have they reached out to you, or have they said anything about you?
So actually, I recently got a text message. Well, actually, it's not recently. God, I forgot how this year went by so quickly. This was actually in March. In March, I got a text that was like, I know you. Like, it was this long ass text, and I was like, I know you like have friends that think like you now, and like, but like, just know that I know you, and that you know I've known you for forever, and blah blah blah. And I was just like, you know, okay.
What were they trying to get at?
The point they were trying to make is like, don't kick me out of your life. But I was just also like, I didn't like. I told them too. I was like, I'm not gonna chase you. If you want to be my friend, be my friend. But if you're not gonna do that, I'm not gonna arrange like things anymore. I'm not gonna change my schedule for you anymore. If you want to be a part of my life, then we can do that. But I've spent a lot of time. You know, I had to spend a lot of time trying to be there for them, and it just didn't work out in my favor. So I was just like, I'm not expending any more like emotional like anything in your direction anymore. And I felt like what they were doing was like, I know you have friends that like support you, and like I know you have friends that are like doing shit with their lives, and so you know, and it's just like, well, like, you know, you could have been that friend too, but you decided not to be, so I can't do anything about that. And also I was just like, I'm moving anyway, so it's like I didn't even tell them I was moving. I'm sure they found out via social media, but I didn't even tell them I was moving. I was just like, I don't really feel any need to inform you or like give you any real details about my life, because I just don't feel like you're a part of it anymore, and that's just what it is. And I think that, you know, and I think even with us, like, everyone isn't meant to be in your life the entirety of your life, and sometimes, you know, sometimes people are a chapter instead of the entire book. And that means that, you know.
Are you calling us a chapter?
You might be a lot of chapters. We don't know. That's not, we don't know how life works.
This is the epilogue.
We don't know how life works. You know what I mean? Like, who knows where we're going to be in our lives this time next year? Who knows where we're going to be in our lives 5 years from now? You know what I mean?
Right.
You just don't know. Sometimes people just are not in the same place, and it doesn't even mean that the people are just doing bad things to each other. It doesn't mean that people are like not giving each other what they need. It just means that people are just in two different places in their lives, and they're trying to accomplish different things. And so what you maybe need from that person, you're not going to get it from them. And what the other person may need from you, they're not going to get it from you, because y'all are just in two different places. Like, it's like in a situation where like somebody has a kid and one friend has a kid and one friend doesn't. They're going to see each other less because one person has a kid and one doesn't. One person's in a relationship and one isn't.
It's just a different lifestyle, and the values change.
Exactly. And it's like, if you're supposed to be friends, you'll adapt to those. But sometimes you don't. And sometimes it just doesn't work out like that.
Right. And what you were saying about like, I know you have friends that like think like you now. I think this is another example of just like, I've had shit like that happen too, where I'm just like a little more outward with my politics or values that are sometimes thought of as extreme by older friends.
Yeah.
And yeah, and
older as in
older friends, like friends I had before.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean those two. But yeah, it's just like, you maybe grow apart because you're valuing different things, or because now you're surrounded by people that like think like you, but it's not necessarily always. At least in my case, I know in this case it's different for you, but it's not necessarily always like, oh, like we don't connect anymore, or I hate you, or like I don't want to be friends anymore. It's just like we just don't really resonate with each other the way that we used to.
Yeah, I don't hate this friend. I'm like, okay, well, look, we had our friendship and it was great in the years that it was great, but it just is not there anymore, and that's fine. Like, you can go off and have other relationships, and I can go off and have other relationships too.
Yeah, Baze, I'm glad you said that, because are you finished, or are you?
Yeah, I'm done.
Like, I'm so glad you said that, because I've been feeling the exact same way lately. And I think sometimes, but I agree with fully what you were saying, in that a lot of times I think when we outgrow friendships, at least in my situations, it's always been not like even like a bad or negative or hostile situation. It's just been, we're in two different places in life. And the way it's come up for me a lot recently has been with a lot of my high school friends, because that's before I was out or even really realized that I was gay. And they were all straight. And so I remember, like, when I hung out with them again for the first time this year, after a while for not seeing them, I just felt so, like, different. Like, I'm used to being with you guys and used to being able to joke about, like, fleeting and all that shit or whatever. And you know what I mean? And, like, saying that and being around spaces.
Your friendship with them was fleeting. Oh my god, this is called...
Yeah, this is Fleeting Friendships.
Oh,
episode 33.
Okay,
Wow.
Write that down, please. But
Renee is so deep today.
Okay, on it. But it's like, you know, I was like with them, and it was just I didn't hate them or feel any kind of animosity. It was just kind of like I just didn't feel the same connection with them that I did, you know, before. And and it's not anything that I'm, you know, like it's not that I don't like them, or I still see them and that kind of thing, but we just have a different relationship because we were 18 and now we're 25, 26. So like that kind of stuff is just going to happen. And especially what I've realized too is, and actually my best friend from high school called me, and I went over to his house and we talked for like 2 hours about this, because he was pretty much saying that I feel that, you know, you've come into yourself, and I'm really happy for you. And based like what you were saying, he told me, I don't want to fade into the background of your life. I know that you have a lot going on, and I know that, you know, you have this community of people, and I'm really happy, but I don't want to not be your friend. And it was actually one of the most touching things, because it was like, I didn't even realize he was feeling that way, but, you know, that he let me know, and we sat and we communicated, and that's who I saw Thor with. And like, you know, we've talked, and he doesn't he doesn't understand a lot about, you know, what it's like to be like a gay person, but he's really, really great about listening and like trying to figure out what that means. And he said, you know, I'm willing to put in the work and understand what this means because you mean that much. And that was, you know, that was great. And so that's what we're doing. We're taking the time to work on it. But also, too, like, what I wanted to say was sometimes when people say that to you, like, I've had quite a few people say that, and it's just like, I don't have the time or the energy to keep up, like, all of these different friendships. And I think people need to learn sometimes that, like, when you're constantly, like, trying to keep this up, or, like, cultivating friendships is work. Like, it's work, it's energy, and it's time, and, like, it's great hanging out and that kind of thing, but sometimes it's, like, you don't go to the gym because you're hanging out with someone, like, or, like, that's what I have to decide now, like, do I hang out with this person, or do I go to the gym, which is me time, like, do I hang out with someone, or do I sit at home? Like, I haven't had a day where I've sat at home for 3 weeks, like, at all, and, like, my off days have, like, I've been at my job for the last every day for the last 3 weeks, and it's, like, because I've been hanging out with people who are like trying to like keep up these things, and it's exhausting sometimes, and sometimes you just really want time for yourself. And that's not to say that like you don't love these people or care about these people, but you also have to cultivate the friendship with yourself too, like because I like, based on you were saying you went to the movies by yourself. I love going to the movies by myself. I love going.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's fun. I love doing stuff all by myself because I love having that me time, and I just want people to know, not just for me but in general, that sometimes you have to think about what you're asking of people, especially if you know that person's busy. Like when I tell people I'm busy, I'm legitimately busy. Like, so it's like, it's not that I'm ignoring you. Like, I was telling you guys even today during the break, like, someone was texting me, like, why aren't you texting me back? And I'm like, because I'm fucking recording the podcast. Because, like, that stuff takes time. So it's...
That friend needs to calm down.
It's just in general, like, it's just, I guess I'm saying that to say, because I saw a meme today about, like, texting culture where it's like, if you don't text me back really quickly, then, like, you don't care. And people say, like, you make the time for things that you care about. And, like, I get the sentiment, but that's such bullshit to me. Like, because...
Some people have jobs.
Yeah, but it's also, like, get a job. Jasmine Masters, get a job challenge. But it's also, like... when you have to take out the time for things that you care about, like, that includes yourself. So sometimes if I don't want to text you back immediately, if I don't want to call you back, if I don't want to FaceTime you, if I don't want to do something, it's because I'm taking time out for myself because I fucking need it. And you should take out time for yourself. And I always notice it from people who have, like, an excess amount of time that demand the most of your time. And it's like, you have to, like...
Dang.
And it's not even shade. Just, like, find things that, like, help you cultivate you. Like, I've been talking to my mom about this a lot, too. About, like, we've been doing things... Like, she came up to me and was like, you know, I want to get into things. So, like, we've been, like, trying to find hobbies for her and stuff like that. Or whatever. Aww. Because she wants to, you know, like, do stuff. And I always find that when people demand a lot of your time...
Get her into photography. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, she's not... No.
Come on.
No. That's a whole other story for a whole other day.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. But it's just like... I just find that when people are really demanding of your time, like, all the time, it's because they usually don't take out the, like, they usually have, like, too much time to themselves and don't try to actually, like, push themselves. So basically, you were saying earlier, like, you need to be around people that push you. I'm the exact same way. Like, I get along best or thrive around people that, like, try to push themselves, because that inspires, like, the shit out of me. That's why I'm always, like, I text Mark, like, once every 2 weeks saying, like, I just letting you know, like, you inspire the shit out of me. Just because I love the fact that, like, even though we don't talk every single day, we have this mutual respect for each other because we know that we're trying to hustle. And, like, I think that, like...
Rakeem is praising you right now on the show.
Oh, hi, Mark.
He says hi.
So, but anyway, I was rambling, but I'm done.
No, that was great.
Yeah.
Jean?
Yeah. So when we talked about this topic, the discourse being outgrowing friendships, I immediately thought about some of our previous episodes. One of them was toxic relationships, and one of them was white friends. I was looking up some articles on, like, signs of outgrowing friends, and one of the signs was when you're hanging out with your friends and you feel like you're holding back during conversations. And that specifically, made me think about, like, my white friends specifically. I just said that a lot. But, like, sometimes when I hang out with my white friends, I feel like I have to hold back with some of my reactions or just how I feel about things. And to me, that's, like, an immediate sign of, well, this friendship is not going to last very long, you know? And, or even if I just met them, it's just that this is not going to be a friend of mine, you know? So, and then, and
there was that one thing, going around online that was like, when you meet a POC and you have to make a white people joke to see where they stand.
Like
Yeah.
I feel like we all do that.
Wait, there was one, like, it was like me on a date. So, can we talk shit about white people, or are you one of those?
I mean, yeah, because that's real. That's kind of one of the prerequisites of being a friend, at least for me, is like, do I have to hold back with you? Like, if I can't speak my mind, if I can't just say what I want, then this probably isn't going to go anywhere. And with existing friends, if I feel like that, then I'm thinking this is probably going to end soon. And then our previous episode about toxic relationships is how I feel about exactly this topic, is outgrowing friends. If someone isn't helping me grow, and just like the way you mentioned, Baze, with your friend, of, like, I guess if someone isn't as ambitious with certain things in life, Mm-hmm. I feel like that is, I mean, that's a sign for me, a definite sign. I remember back in high school when it was close to graduation time, and to me, it's not a big deal, but I guess to some people it is. But I was going to community college right after, and then one of my friends who wasn't going to college at all was just like, "Oh, you're leaving me? You're going to go to college now?" And I was like, I'm going to be living in the same city, but I'll be going to college. Yeah, I'll be going to community college. And like, my friend got really upset, my friend at the time. And I was like, why are you, like, you should be happy for me that I'm going to, first of all, it's community college, but, you should be happy for me that I'm continuing my education. And my friend was really upset because they thought, like, we were just going to, like, I don't know. I can't find a nicer word, but just like be bums, I guess, for a long time. And I was like, I have things to do and I want places to be, like I don't want to be. And then there's nothing wrong with being a lifer or a townie, but that's just, it wasn't for me. Like, I don't want to be in this town any longer. So, and that's, I mean, also my friend was like a cis hetero straight guy. So,
yeah.
Let's see. Another sign was like, well, that was if your like ambitions are different. And then we mentioned like sort of children, which is not a bad thing. Like we just have different lifestyles. And I want to talk about different kinds of friendships. I was thinking when this topic came up, I also thought about like my benefriends, like my friends with benefits. Like there would be like some like quote friends, I'm air quoting, that I would hang out with reoccurring benefriends, but then like things happen. Yeah, like friends with benefits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, benefriends. Like eventually one person is going to end up like we are only hanging out for this one purpose, and we also have separate lives outside of this. And like I had a benefriend, I'm quoting, who had to like quote break up with me because he was like, oh well, I'm starting to see this guy and we're gonna get serious, so I'm gonna have to like stop coming over, but we could still be friends. And I like looked at that person and I was like, we're not gonna be friends. Like, because the only reason why we're hanging out is for this one thing. So like, let's just be real. Like, I'm not gonna fake it. And they're like, let's hang out and like let's go to this bar and like let's go play video games. Like, no, we're not gonna do any of that because the only things that we were doing was like hooking up. So I mean, and that like, and my thing is, if these friendships aren't serving you, I wouldn't feel like guilty about ending them. And whether it's benefriends, whether it's these toxic relationships or friends that aren't helping you grow. Like, I know that some people feel like, oh, but we've been friends for so long, and I go through that too. And you guys know that I have certain friends that I'm like, well, we've been friends for so long, but you after a while, you just kind of know like what kind of box to put them in your life, and like we can still be friends, but it's just not on the same level,
And that's not always a bad thing. Like,
yeah, it's
like,
not.
Yeah.
And that's the point I was trying to make. Like, it's not a terrible thing. I'm not saying I'm distancing myself from you because you're a terrible person.
Right.
I'm just like, things are different now. Like, our priorities change. Oh, and that was another sign too. If you guys aren't prioritizing the friendship. So basically, like, if you're not making time for one person, or if you're not like, I don't know, just prioritizing the friendship. And sometimes that happens, and that's okay. And I'm putting my pointing finger on my thumb, like circle. That is okay.
There's also, well,
no, go ahead.
Kind of piggybacking off of that. So there's also like, so I want to think about the times where I was kind of like, where I was faded out, like, because I'm sure y'all have had times where you feel like you were faded out by somebody.
Yeah.
And one of the times, I think I'm gonna talk about like the two biggest times, or actually there was a couple of big times, but one of the times it was like, it was something that I did that I like wasn't really holding myself accountable for, and now that I look back at it, I'm just like, okay, I fucked up. Like, I did something to fuck up a friendship, basically, and I wasn't really holding myself accountable for it. Like, me and a couple other friends were helping me like justify what I did, and I was trying to justify what I did. But like ultimately, like now that I look back at it, I'm just like, you fuck up, and like if somebody chooses to fade you out after that, then like that's it.
Yeah, you just have to accept the consequences.
Right. So
and that's okay too.
Right. And it's just it also kind of makes you a better person when you really own up to it, because it's just like it's not just like about apologizing to the person. It's just like, okay, like what do I do so that I don't do something like that again? Because like we all do like fucked up shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but like, what do I? I fucked up, but like instead of being like, oh, but like it's whatever. It's just like, let me not do this again. Let me not be this person. What I do to not be this person. And apart from that, this is funny because it was kind of in the same circle of friends. But in another case, and this actually happens quite frequently. One of my best friends that I would see all the time, got into a relationship and kind of like suddenly disappeared, and like it became very clear like where his priorities lied. And it's just like, and it's just kind of like, and like a lot of people do the, oh well, I don't have time, blah blah blah, whatever, but it's just like, but you have time for that person, but you have time for romance, but you don't have time for your friends. And then later was going around being like, oh, Renee doesn't talk to me anymore. I don't know why. When I made new friends, when I started like branching out on my own.
That's a very...
I think that's a slippery slope.
Yeah, because I mean, that's a new relationship they're building. And
Sure.
So time is taken away.
But then you can't come back, and then when that person disappears, you can't be like, oh, why isn't that person talking to me anymore?
Yeah, no,
And then you can't,
that's
and then you
valid.
can't complain, and you can't
Yeah.
complain to people like, why don't I have any friends when you're focusing
Yeah.
only on that one person?
Because if you're in a relationship, like, you do kind of, you're going to have less time because you're all
Yeah,
about that
that's just gonna
relationship,
happen.
especially when it's fresh. Like, that is going to happen. But if you just, like, completely, like, go missing in action, like, that
Right.
is, I think that you should be ready to then just be ready to drop some people because everybody's not going to put up with that.
Right.
Because
I have to say I don't put up with that at all, because I know where it goes. I know exactly where it's going when people are just like, oh, like, let me, it's fine, whatever. But then it's just like, okay, you're not putting any effort into the friendship. I'm not saying people that like, because I have plenty of good friends that get into relationships and like maintain a friendship, whether or not they're spending less or more time.
What does
But
that
I'm
look
talking
like to you? Like what
Maintaining a friendship?
No. Like so let's just say like someone gets into a relationship and then like they do like see you less. Like at what point will that bother you? Like the first time someone says like, oh, I can't hang out.
No, if we're like 3 months into a relationship and like I don't see you at all anymore, and like every time I see you, you're like rushing to see this person, or I'm like, hey, you don't, or you're just like, oh, I don't have time, but like you have time to go like see this other person, and like that's it. Like that's not a friendship for me. I have to say, like, when I'm in, and like this is maybe why I'm just gonna throw Sean and Reina's name out there. But I have to say, when we have been in relationships with people, we're still prioritizing each other, because we know at the end of the day, the person that's going to be there for us when that significant other isn't, is each other. And so we have always, whoever we're dating, and there are times where we fuck up, but we have always, whenever we're dating somebody new, we're also spending time with that person. Like this weekend, I'm kind of seeing somebody in the Bay. And this weekend I was there and I was spending time with both the person and Sean at the same time. And because I'm just like, I'm not going to come down here just to see you. Like, I'm coming down here to see my family. So that's basically what I'm saying, is I'm never going to be that person to be like, I'm seeing this person and I don't want to see you anymore, or I don't have time for you anymore, because that's not the type of friend I am.
Yeah.
And if that's the type of friend you are, then we don't have the same values.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I get it to like a point. Like I understand I'm not gonna, like, if someone just ghosts, like a friend just like ghosts you when they get a relationship, like in a relationship, that's just like, that's a very, like, I think that's a very common thing that happens, and I think people are really
Right.
annoyed by that. But I think as long as there's like some kind of effort, like if my friend just sent me a text and was like, "Girl, bass crazy, but I love you," like, then like I get it, because it's like we all have shit going on, and
Right.
yeah, so I get it to like a point. That's why I just asked, like, what does that?
I
look
guess
like
just you and I look at friendships
a little
differently,
bit.
though.
Yeah,
I think like I like prioritize like everyone that I care about, and like some people prioritize like romance.
I prioritize work, but you're right. I get
Oh, that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Like-
can I say though, you're coming from and you and I have had this conversation before, Renee, that you have what I am calling friendship privilege, because not a lot of people have the same connections that you have with Sean and Reina. Like I can safely say that I don't have friends like that.
You have us.
No,
Yeah, but
like,
I get what you mean, John. I get
you know
it.
what I mean? You know what I mean? Like X amount of years will literally drop what they're doing, like literally cooking for you,
Right.
and like helping you with a lot of stuff. Like
Right.
you can have that sort of feeling about outgrowing friendships and like people in relationships
Right.
as your friend because you have those friends as your like foundation. But some people who like grew up not having those kinds of friends, they kind of don't have a choice on.
Well, you can invest in those type of friendships. You
Yeah.
can create those
I
type
think-
of friendships.
I don't think
Like-
that that's necessarily like a privilege. I just think that you just
We're good friends because we have invested in each other as like good friends, and we haven't said like, oh, this came up or that came up, and
Right,
like I don't
but
want to see anymore.
Like friendships and romantic relationships, you don't know. You're still going through this like trial and error period.
Sure.
So like you've gone through enough like challenges or enough things to like have these people still around. But,
Right.
like some people just don't have that, I'm gonna say, luck, because when they want to make friends after like a blip or two, then they're out. Then they have to start from scratch. So it's this like never ending cycle. Where for you, you're lucky because you don't have that cycle reoccurring as much because you have these like friends.
But
I don't want to say
you can still create those
And then-
though.
well. I think
Sorry.
this might be a different topic.
Sure.
Maybe, but John, I get what you're saying. Like, I completely get like what you mean by that.
I
So-
mean, I
get
would
what
like to.
you guys
I would like
both
to
mean,
think
but
that
I
we're
just
creating,
think that like at the end of the day, like if you just disappear on your friends when you get into a relationship, just don't expect people to have your back when you're not in a relationship anymore.
Exactly, and don't go around complaining like, "Oh, why isn't that person talking to me?" And why are they making new friends? And then don't go around being like, "Oh, I don't have any friends." Like you invested in one person, stay with that
Yeah.
one person.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, I think we all agree that like if you just don't talk to your friend, period.
Yeah.
I mean that's kind of trash. But like,
No,
it's not even trash. Just don't expect them to be there.
Yeah.
But
We all agree that when you get into a relationship, that you're gonna spend significantly more time with your partner than you are with like everyone else, with your significant other. That is just how most. I know, Renee, you have feelings about prioritizing romantic relationships, but the majority of people do prioritize their romantic
We're just saying
relationships
don't
over
neglect
their
it.
platonic relationships with people.
Right.
And that is just a reality of the situation. A lot of people are going to do this. Most people are going to do this. Most
Right.
people are going to
Sure.
disappear a little bit.
Sure.
It's just for me, it's just when you disappear completely. It's just
Right.
you can't expect
That's
that
it.
people are going to be sitting around waiting for you
Right.
and then I also think that's another. I'm like nervous about doing that too, because I think that when you
I don't think you do that at all, to be quite honest. I think you're like really good. I think you're a really good example of somebody who can be a friend and then is fully invested in a partner.
But you also live
Thank
with your
you.
partner, so that's different.
True.
Right.
That is true. But I was gonna
Right.
say, fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yes, friends, dating, things.
Oh my.
God, why did I? I had it and it was.
I don't know.
it was
I'm just
gone,
maybe
but-
a very extreme person, or a very extreme example, because I was just talking to a friend this weekend. And I was just like, I feel sorry for whoever's gonna date me or any of my friends, because they're gonna slowly realize that they're dating like all of us.
Have you
Like,
seen
all of
that
us are
video
gonna
that
be
like
around all the
Lala does, where like on Instagram, where someone walks up to her best friend and they go, "Hey, what's up?" And she goes, "Hi." He goes, "I wasn't talking to you." And she goes, "I know, but you're talking to my best friend, which means you're talking to me. So when you cheat on her, you cheat on me.
Hello?
When you fuck with her, you're fucking with me. So are you
Oh,
ready
can
to
you-
get our
can you-
number or not?" And he's like, "Yes."
No.
And I feel like that's very you. Like,
There he is.
Oh, okay. There
Oh,
it is. Sorry,
sorry,
you cut
you-
off for us.
You disappeared for a second,
But
but,
I know what you're getting
I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about, and yes, that's
I
exactly
feel
what
like
it's
that's
like.
totally you. Yes.
That's exactly what it's like with us, with that example.
I was gonna say too. I think that like what happens a lot in abusive relationships is that people are isolated and they don't have a support system or like people around them that like will step in or like feel like they have anyone to fall back on. So I'm already like very like personally concerned about like having the only person that I'm being friends with is my partner. Like, because I don't think that, you know, A plus B equals C, but I think that A plus B equals a possibility of C. Right. And if you are isolated, I think you are more susceptible to stay in abusive relationships. Right. And I just think it's really just a good idea to just have friends. And if you don't have them, to try to find them. I'm still like, like I'm here in New York and I have made some friends, but I'm still like trying to like get to know as many people as possible so that I can create like a foundation of people here. So you know what I mean? Because you don't want to be just dependent on one person emotionally. And I don't know. I just don't think it's a good idea. But that's just me personally. Anyway. Any final thoughts that we want to say?
I think it's okay to not be in constant contact all the time. Like, I do have friends that, like, for whatever reason, like, they live on the other side of the country, or they actually, maybe they just still live in Moreno Valley, and I don't talk to as much, but when we do hang out, we just kind of, like, pick up where we left off.
Right. It's like it never, like,
even though we were both changing, like, in different directions, we can come back and that is okay too. Like, I don't feel the need, like, I'm not going to get upset if we don't text every day or every other week or even every other month. And like I said just now, like, sometimes I don't hear from someone for a whole year, and that's okay. As long as we find the time to like eventually reconnect, I like that too. I don't know what that's called. It's not called long distance relationship, just like long time span, I guess. You know?
No, that's real.
Yeah, so what about you guys?
Yeah. I'm kind of the same. Like, yeah, John, I'm pretty much the same thing. Like, I don't have to see you all the time, and like, I don't have to hear from you all the time, but I can know what you're up to, and I respect, you know, what you're doing, and I hope you respect like my hustle and like what I'm trying to do. And just lastly, like, trying to keep up like the constant talking to I can't do it with everyone. So people know that, and I think that as long as like the connection is there and you guys can still get a drink and hang out or whatever, then like it's cool with me. Like, so.
Not little boy.
I guess that's just about little.
Thank you for tuning in to Fleeting Friends.
So I said this in the break, but I'll say it again.
Do your
Keep
Kegels
your whole tight
every
and
day.
your friends
Your
tight.
friendship Kegels.
Your friendship Kegels. Yeah. Oh my God!
Do your
can
friend
we call
Kegels.
hugs
Go and hug your
friendship
friends. Go do a group hug and just hug everybody real tight.
Kegels?
So much.
Okay, so with that, we're gonna move on to Male of Color. Bye, guys.
Friendship Kegels. Hello, and welcome to Male of Color. I'm your host, Baze Latif White. So, what do we have here? You've been so good to us. You've written into us, and we just appreciate it. Absolutely, positively delicious,
Delicious, darling.
So, from Mauricio. Oh, yes. Okay, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Can we say his name or their name?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Hello, Trash Bags of Color, beautiful queer brothers. My name is Mauricio, and I'm a middle school teacher in Oakland, California. Originally, I'm from Compton, Los Angeles. Compton, what's up? But last year, I got accepted into TFA. Well, actually, I'm more Inglewood, so I don't know why I even try to do all that, because it's all about Inglewood. But anyway, I got accepted into TFA, and I was placed in Oakland. Yes. I knew that I needed to take this opportunity to infiltrate the space that is TFA because it has been historically a rich, white, elite space. My personal issues with how TFA trying to gauge the educational gap, but they place privileged white teachers to teach our chamacos of color?
Chamacos, they're like kids.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Girl, listen.
I was like, this is out of our vocab lane.
Yeah. Duolingo didn't teach me this.
We don't have the range.
I do not have the range. chamacos of color could take over this whole email. So, point being that I accepted to leave in order to give my chamacos a chance to see someone that looks like them, that comes from a neighborhood very much like theirs, and a male of color as their teacher. When I first moved, I was determined to be a social justice warrior, and I woke up my chamacos about the system and everything they need to be woken up about. Regardless of my efforts to teach culturally responsive pedagogy. Oh, girl, that's a word. I don't know it.
Oh, you a smart bitch. Oh, are you single?
You know, well, a teacher, girl. Hopefully a smart bitch in the classroom. The culture of our communities is terrifyingly homophobic. I've been able to teach them about the Black Panthers, the Brown Berets.
Yes,
I've taught them that they come from kings and queens because their ancestors were pharaohs and emperors in Africa and Mesoamerica. But when it comes to anything remotely LGBTQ friendly, LGBTQ.
Take me to the LGBTQ.
I've taught them that they come. Oh yes, friendly. My students and families freak out. I can feel the homophobia in the walls of the school. I've had fellow teachers try and out students to me saying, "I think so and so might be gay," and IDK how to help them because I'm not gay, or saying things like that. I don't understand in an all gendered restroom. I'm sorry. This is kind of bleeding together just a bit. God made you in His image. It's Adam and Eve and these damn politicians trying to change things. These are quotes. Last year I had student's uncle come to school to beat my faggot ass after a student called me a faggot and bitch continuously, and so he was suspended. The uncle legit came to the school looking for me because he wanted to came to school looking for me because he wanted to beat my faggot ass, but that got his nephew suspended. This year, my second year there, I've tried so much more to educate my students on LGBT issues, and I assigned each table group to a social justice hero, one of them being Marsha P. Johnson. Yes.
Nice.
Work. I don't allow students to use the N-word, faggot, gay, bitch, or anything that targets someone's identity, but I'm not sure if I feel safe enough to come out to them. Last week, I had a former student come out to me and told me that he told me because I make him and his classmates feel safe, and I wanted so bad to tell him that I'm gay too, but fear took over. This student told me that his dad couldn't find out because the only reason why he transferred half year last year was because his dad wanted him to go to a school where the students would beat the faggot out of him.
What the fuck?
My question is this: how and should I come out to my students? Originally, I had planned to wake them up by teaching them about LGBTQ leaders, by teaching identity, by having them love me for the teacher I am before coming out to them. But as the weeks progress, I am more and more afraid to do so. I've been out for 11 years, and teaching in a neighborhood very much like the one I grew up in has made me go back in the closet. If things go sour after I come out, I don't know if the administration will back me up, or if parents will lose trust. Some advice. Woo, girl.
Wait, how old are his students, base?
Shit.
Middle school, is that?
I look, girl, you know my memory's not the best.
Okay, well, scroll up.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that there's not really paragraphs, so I have to like.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, my question is, I didn't know that that's something teachers do.
Feel the need to come out?
Yeah, I didn't know that that's something that that teachers do. But I guess if you have that kind of connection, like with, because like I didn't really ask or like want to know about my teachers' lives like that. But I understand that this is something that, you know, it's a little bit different because you're educating them about different things and you're having this connection. Yeah. I would maybe say that's hard.
It's rough. I think that it's about like what you're comfortable
comfortability
with. And if you're not comfortable with being out, if you don't feel safe, you shouldn't do it.
And there are different ways to be unsafe. Like not only having, the students' relatives threaten you, or have somebody come in to threaten, the gay teacher. It's also potentially losing your job, and not because you're gay, obviously, but because like I could see them saying something like, "Oh, you're creating too much drama by being
right."
So it's just like this one's hard because it's also like it's hard because it's also like the little kids that are in the closet, they're gonna be able to, like, if he chose to come out, are gonna be able to see somebody who's like out and who's like, living a happy life and like a role model basically. And apart from that, and like maybe not even just the kids that are in the closet, but like these little stray kids that are like being raised to be like homophobic potentially, and like saying like, wait, but I like this teacher, but this teacher is nice, so like, and it's gonna be their first exposure to like somebody who they really like, but is also happens to be gay.
I was gonna say,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I don't think, like, for example, the kid that came out to you, even though you didn't, I guess, come out in return, I don't think that makes you any less of a role model to that kid. I think as long as you're still being supportive, they're still gonna feel like they feel safer on you, and I think that's ultimately what matters the most. I don't think you need to tell them specifically that you're LGBTQ identified, but as long as you're showing support and continuing helping them feel safe around you, and maybe calling out any aggressions towards that kid, then that's already a lot already. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's true. That is really good advice. I mean, I think like, I feel like if you're not like, I don't know. Honestly, again, like I said, it's about what you're comfortable with, but also too, I think I didn't really know, like what Rakeem said, I didn't know like most anything about any of my teachers, like, but there's also like, if they did have a husband, there was references to that. So like, if you felt like you wanted to say like, you know, if you have a partner and you want to make reference to them, you know, I think that you should and make it very casual and not like a big thing. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't think that you need to like announce to your students that you're gay.
I think
I don't see it being necessary, but
I think this is a question also I would ask my direct report or whoever my manager was, or someone you feel safe in a higher level, just to see if there's any sort of retaliation that could possibly happen, and just to make sure that you have some allies in that area. So, any colleagues that will back you up, because if this does turn sour, like you said, at the end of the day, this is your livelihood. So that's something to think about. I mean, and I admire that what you're doing for these kids and with these kids, and that you do want to be a role model, but at the same time, it would be a detriment to lose your job over something and no longer be a role model to nobody. But if you kept your job and still continuing what you're doing, you can still, keep the message going.
Yeah, especially because I think he said that he doesn't really feel that safe with the faculty, or doesn't really know. And then the other thing I thought of, and then I guess we can cut it, is that like or move on, is that I think one thing I thought of too is that like the fact that you're teaching all of your students this means that they're not being taught this at home, which means that if you come out to your students and they maybe tell their parents, the parents might cause like a fuss. And then like I could definitely see like when I was younger, if I told some of my family members, especially the male ones, that I had a gay teacher, it would have been hell. And so it's like
this is a really hard one, because you could really change somebody's life if they grew up like with a gay teacher, with an outwardly gay teacher, right? But then obviously you can also potentially really fuck up your own. Right. So it's this one's hard.
It's tricky.
It's all very.
You have to weigh what's worth it. Like if you think that, to me it doesn't sound like it's worth it to like announce who you are, like your sexuality to your students. It just, to me, it just seems like what John said. Like it sounds like you could do so much more with just being there, supporting, and like continuing to teach the message that you have to these kids.
Yeah, I think if maybe a student asks you, then like privately, then sure. But
even then, you never know, because they might go back and tell somebody.
Right,
so that's true. Be careful. Okay, you're right.
But they say, P.S. Thank you for creating a space where I can hear woke as fuck queer men of color discuss the fucked up world we live in. I am thankful, and if y'all ever need a teacher, drag queen perspective on the show, hit a brother up. Thank you so much. And also just thank you for like doing what you do, because being a teacher, I know, is a very thankless job.
Yeah. Thank you.
Y'all really don't get what y'all deserve, payment or treatment wise. And I know not in the Bay Area especially. So, moving forward.
We'll do one more.
Yes. Let's see. Okay. So this person says, hi guys, my name is Eduardo. I am a super gay Salvadorian Australian, and I'm writing in just to say how much I love the show.
I think we know this person. We know this person. Sorry, go ahead.
I've been following a couple of you on Tumblr for a while, and I've been tuning into the podcast since day one. Cannot say enough how much I appreciate the conversations you have every week. You leave me shook at how relatable many of your experiences are to my own. How well you articulate many of the views that I also share, and all while being absolutely hilarious. Baze. Me especially kills me with his accents in that one episode where you did all the SZA impression. Growing up in a majority white society made it difficult to find friends who have had similar intersectional experiences. I've recently moved to Tokyo, Japan with my boyfriend to see if I can make it in this big crazy city, and I'd love to find a queer POC family of my own. I have a question for you guys. What are your favorite fruits and what are your favorite comfort foods? Ooh. Much love, Eduardo.
Oh, I like this.
My comfort food.
Dick.
I was thinking that.
I feel like that's John.
Mine's ass.
Ass and dick.
Oh God.
Look, just because I'm a bottom,
ass.
Wobbly wobble wobble.
It used to be Chick-fil-A, but I've been off of Chick-fil-A for a month. I still get cravings, but I guess it's the Chinese food place. So I've never had pineapple chicken before I moved to New York. Like instead of orange chicken, it's pineapple chicken.
Oh,
I really, 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 really like it, and so that's been my comfort food. It's expensive, but I like it.
And so it's favorite fruit. Favorite fruit, and then comfort food.
Mine's is apple. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Mine too, actually. I love Granny Smith apples. I go through about 2 of them a day. Like, I love them so much.
Oh my God.
And then comfort food would be either toast with honey or peanut butter and honey sandwiches. I love them.
Oh, those are good.
Oh my God.
Those are really good.
Oh, I've never had that
Rich
before. Okay.
Oh, girl, it'll change your world.
My favorite fruit is watermelon, and my comfort food. Stop.
Because you're like that puppy who eats watermelon.
That's an inside joke.
Watermelon.
Or
Bitch,
that
me
too.
too.
That too. Me too. Or chilaquiles. And flan. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
One of my girlfriends just texted me and says she has some extra pozole, and so even though I don't have it that often, pozole is like one of my favorite comfort foods.
Aww.
But
What is that?
It's like a soup.
Yeah, it's
stew.
like a Mexican dish with an interesting stew with like garbanzo
Large
beans.
pieces of corn.
If you've never had it,
Shit.
you really have to have it. Like it's hard to describe. Like
You have to find someone's mom to make it, because
Yeah.
otherwise you can't just buy it.
Here
at
we
any place.
go. Let's go grab it.
I will say also I made some Levain cookies.
Oh,
From
yes.
Levain bakeries. I made some homemade ones. They didn't turn out as good, but that's a comfort food. Is I have a Levain cookie at least once a week.
And then my favorite fruit is a banana, and not because I'm a pervert, but because it's easily accessible and it's like easily portable.
Because you're
like
a
dick.
pervert.
Okay, yes, it is because I'm a perv too, but also it's just a quick. I mean, and it's good for you. It's potassium, and also if you're having loose stools, you need to eat some banana because it'll help you form them.
John, did you learn that bananas have potassium from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
I did.
I
Bitch.
didn't. I learned it in
Bitch,
nursing
remember when he
school.
taps his fingers on the counter and she's like, "Ooh, his fingernails are dirty."
That was so petty.
Oh my god! When the dad was speaking through the speakers, bitch, iconic,
Iconic.
Okay.
Sorry.
Mila Kunis
And-
was in that.
Wow, what happened to her? Exactly.
Did you say Khalees?
Mila Kunis.
Oh, Mila Kunis.
It's Khalees week, by the way, but yeah, Mila Kunis.
Oh, speaking of weeks,
Mm-hmm.
it is Transgender Awareness Week.
Yeah.
Oh, it sure is.
Starting tomorrow, and then it ends on the 20th, which is Transgender Day of Remembrance, to remember all of our sisters and brothers who have passed away due to violence. So look in your local cities. There's usually something going on. I know in LA, on the 20th on Monday, there's a gathering at the West Hollywood Early Education Center. And usually at these things, they'll read all the names within the past year. So get ready to cry, but also show up for your trans community.
Yes.
All right. So, with that, yeah, we're going to conclude the episode. Again, next week there will be no episode. We're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving, and we're going to give ourselves a week off. But we wanted to say that we're grateful for all of y'all and for all the listenership and for everything that you guys have done and writing in letters. And it's pretty fucking crazy still. Like, this is episode 33, and it's just like, it's mind blowing. Please, can we have some more letters, buddy? If you send us letters, Renee or John will post a nude. So anyway, you can find our Twitter at Trash or Color.
Neither of us are fighting that one.
Inbox pool. You can
OnlyFans.
find us. Oh my god! Yeah, you can find us at OnlyFans.com/podcast of color.
Should we get a podcast of color OnlyFans?
Hell no!
I'm open.
Hell no! So anyway, we will see y'all next week. And then I quickly wanted to say thank you to Lockwood21 for having me model some jock straps for y'all and some things. And then also thank you to Breezy Boy Clothing, because by the time this episode is out, there will also be some stuff for them out too. So,
I want to say also congrats to one of the queerest weddings I've ever been to, Omi and Andrea, for getting married this weekend. And I usually don't cry at these things, but it was super queer and beautiful, and like I cried, and it was beautiful and like super queer, and like people were like hooking up in the house. It was amazing.
oh my god. Okay. Well. Okay. So I guess with that, we will see y'all next week. Or no, 2 weeks.
Oh, wait. Remember
Oh.
to also like rate and
subscribe.
and comment on iTunes and on YouTube as well. Pump us up. We want to be YouTubers. I will become an MUA, and I will do reviews for different kinds of foods that you can use for makeup.
Oh my god, Fenty.
Venti ketchup.
Not Fenty ketchup.
Okay, we're leaving. Bye, everybody.
Okay, bye.